All right, what's going on, guys? It's Luke here. We're going to run through this trade recap from today. Today was January 27th, 2026. We caught a small winner today, about 1.7R. I de-risked heavily on this trade just because tomorrow was FOMC and I needed a winning day to secure a payout on two accounts. So I just decided to de-risk. I ended up making about $1,000 today, or just under $1,000. I got to do the math. I know it was 196 times 5 accounts. So that was all I risked today. But obviously later in the week, I'll up the risk. But these are the executions right here and everything, all the links in the pinned comment and description if you guys want to check them out. Alpha Futures right now is 20% off. So if you use code LukeX, you get 20% off if you want to load some accounts up for this week, because we do have FOMC, and then Thursday, Friday, we do have some red folders. So if you guys want accounts, that'll get you 20% off, and that's valid till Thursday. So you have to pick them up before Thursday or by Thursday. So let's run through this really quick. Coming into the day, at market open, we had left equal highs with this weekly high right here, but NQ was leading bullish. So NQ had already taken out this daily high, and ES never took it out. So NQ was leading heavily bullish. On the 4-hour, we were bullish. We were just continuously trending up. And for draws and liquidity, I had, at the time, this 4-hour gap hadn't been filled. We had this 4-hour gap right here. We had London low, which got taken out. It's just not on the chart. We had Asia low. We had this low. And then we had this 4-hour gap down here. And then for buy side, we had this hourly high right here, which was an equal high or relative equal high with this weekly high. And then we had some draws all the way up there. So I just wanted to see displacement towards one way or the other. And what I was favoring going into market open was a manipulation lower to take out London, and either continuations lower towards Asia or a reversal off the gap back higher, which is what we ended up getting. So let me put this on the chart so you guys can see where London was. London low was right here, so resting right above that 4-hour gap. So market opens up and we get this initial here. Where's the 930 candle? Just one sec. Okay, so market opens up and we get this initial wick down and we tap into this 4-hour gap. We end up sweeping out London low, and we get a nice move to the upside. We get this 1-minute inversion to the upside right here, and I really wanted to long this. The only problem was this wick came up and took out the break-even point. So I was like, I can't do that. I have to fade this, basically, because we had already taken out my break-even point. Then the next candle opens up, puts in this massive wick here, and we end up sweeping out these like lower time frame highs right here. So at this point, I'm like, okay, maybe we can see a rotation downwards and we can look for shorts and target 4-hour CE or something like that, and then potentially look towards Asia low. So we end up actually getting this nice displacement candle right here. After manipulating the highs, we get this 1-minute inversion. We could have shorted this right here. I would have just TP'd honestly at the CE of the 4-hour, or you could have targeted into this lower 1-hour gap right there, and you would have TP'd as well, which was a great trade. Unfortunately, it just kind of happened fast. I don't like these trades that are close to market open. I kind of hesitate on sometimes because it's just happening so fast. I'm just not ready, to be honest. So I missed this one, unfortunately, but this was a solid trade. Again, you see the manipulation down, manipulate back up, which is what happens a lot. We take out these lower time frame highs right here with this wick. Strong displacement candle with a 1-minute inversion, and then you can target this low down here. You could target 4-hour CE or that 1-hour gap like I mentioned down there, but I just missed it, unfortunately. At this point, I was seeking maybe we'll get continuations. We'll get continuations lower towards Asia, but so what I was watching was this 2-minute gap right here. I was like, maybe we can seek continuations, but then we started to trade up. And what I noticed was this 5-minute bearish gap right here. So I was like, my idea was basically if we continue to reject off this 5-minute gap, potentially we look for shorts. But I'm at this point, I'm assuming since we got this strong 5-minute bullish close, I'm assuming we're just going to trade up. We got a strong close here. And at this point, if you look at ES at the same time, let me show you guys ES, and you know what I'm talking about. ES was heavily bullish at this point. It was leading, and it still had all of these highs up here that it could easily run towards. So I was like, okay, there's a high probability that we probably want to continue up. I highly doubt we're going to just reject from here now. We got a very slight, I don't even know if we actually technically inverse this gap. Like, I think we just barely did, or we didn't. I don't know. But regardless, for me, I liked how strong this close was. And ES was leading bullish. We had draws higher. We had a clear point. We could go break even at this 930 wick right here, which I like targeting. And I was like, okay, maybe we can just target this and then target up to the weekly highs. So I just got a little bit of a late entry. I kind of waited a sec. I think I entered after this candle, or I don't even remember, but my fill was 987. So after we inversed the 5 minute, I pretty much got in. I ran my stop below the 5 minute candle. My break even point was this 930 wick right here, and my final TP was going to be the weekly high, but I just didn't want to see my TP get edged or something. So I honestly just fully TP'd at was it these 5 minute bodies right here. So if you guys see, I was kind of treating this like a rejection block. I got out at 937, 938, whatever. Like I just got out right here. That was my final TP. Again, my final TP was going to be the weekly high, but to me, I just didn't want to see my TP get edged for like 8 extra points. That's just my opinion. So once again, I'll run through this really quick. Price off market open. We get initial manipulation down. We manipulate up and we take out some lower time frame highs. We get this displacement candle down and then we dump. Unfortunately, I missed that. From here, we're reacting off of a 1 hour gap and a 4 hour gap. You could have definitely probably taken an entry in here. I think we had a 3 minute inversion actually right here. You guys could have entered off right here, which would have gave you a better entry. I honestly didn't even notice that until now. I don't think there was anything lower. We got this 2 minute inversion, but then you were in this 2 minute gap, but you definitely could have entered off of this 3 minute right here. I just honestly seen that now, but whatever. Anyway, we trade up to this 5 minute. If you want to play it safe, like what I did, you enter off this strong candle right here, which was the 945 candle, the 5 minute technically inversion, but I just looked at it more of like a displacement candle. Break even at these highs, and then I TP just shy at these bodies right here. So yeah, pretty decent trade. We sat in this trade for like 5-6 minutes, so not too bad. And from here, price took out the weekly high. It's consolidating. We either want to trade higher towards these draws up here, or we pull a reversal. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, that's it from you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Again, code LukeX for 20% off at Alpha. And that's it for me. We'll be back with another one soon. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.